Live from Radio Row, SportsGrid's coverage of Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. Joe Lisi joined by NFL legend, former Alabama and Seattle Seahawks running back Shaun Alexander. Great atmosphere here, Shaun, in New Orleans. Thoughts about just a big game in general in the city of New Orleans?
You know, New Orleans is already a fabulous city, and then to have the Super Bowl be here, it has like all this great feel to it. You already mentioned Alabama, like you get that Sugar Bowl feel, and then you take it to a whole nother level with the Super Bowl. This is going to be great.
When you look at the matchup, right, Kansas City looking for a 3-peat, and I've said the hottest team potentially in the NFL in terms of the Philadelphia Eagles. They've won 15 of the last 16 games, but we talked about it. The cherry on top has been the performance, regular season and postseason of Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
How do you see this game playing out?
You know, it's foolish to ever vote against Patrick Mahomes, but if you're going to do it, you got to take the guy that could be the best running back in the league, that could be the MVP. He won't win it, but he easily could be, and if he did it, win it. And then you got three Bama guys. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So you got Jalen Hurst and Devontae Adams, man. Like they're gonna play lights out. Like I expect big things out of the Bama boys, and Saquon's just special, man. Like I think he's in a groove. So the Chiefs are the perfect team for this day and age. You know what I mean? They run just enough. Patrick's going to move the ball around. He's got a great golden arm, but the Eagles do have a great chance to win this thing.
When you look at Saquon, do you feel like the performance and even Derrick Henry for Baltimore, the evolution and maybe more in terms of how they utilize the running back, you think we're going to see that shift? Because a lot of teams would say, in regards to the past few years, we don't need a top-flight running back. We could get maybe a free agent to duplicate that type of productivity. But when you see what Saquon and Derrick Henry have brought both Baltimore and Philly, do you think we're going to go back to maybe the running back being the main focus of an offense?
I do think that's going to happen. You take them, and then you take Josh Jacobs of Green Bay. There's a couple of teams that are like, wait, we figured out. But that's just evolution. You go back to football, the quarterback was the best guy on the field, best athlete, ran through, did it all. And then they said, wait a minute, we can have angles if we give the ball to the tailback. So then the tailback became the best athlete. And then they backed the quarterback up to do odds and be like, oh, let's do shotgun. And now they're throwing around. So now you got these great receivers and wide receivers. And they said, well, wait a minute, what if the quarterback could run and throw? Wait a minute, did we just start all over again? We did. And now they're going to be like, well, wait a minute, now we're trying to stop this quarterback that can run and throw. Now we can hand the ball to the running back because the numbers say if you're trying to cover these receivers and the running back running right, you're handing the ball to him left. He's got numbers. And so we're just seeing football be football, you know.
Absolutely. I think he's going to have a dynamic performance, not just on the ground, but maybe through the air. We'll talk about Alabama in a little bit, but I know that you're a part of a great organization, standtogether.org. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Stand Together is about 850 or more of some of the greatest businessmen, women, and social entrepreneurs in the country. They put together their time, talents, and treasures to help tackle some of the country's biggest issues, from the juvenile justice system to community affairs to how to do business for good in communities. And I jumped in with them, and we helped do Cafe Momentum, which was basically a restaurant for incarcerated juveniles. Right. And they used to call those kids throwaways. And we realized that the formula was putting the right ecosystem around and put the aunties and uncles around. And what are they? They could be social workers, or it could be psychologists. It could be a homeschool director, a principal. And we put them around them and also gave them jobs at Cafe Momentum. And next thing you know, the recidivism for these kids it's like 11%. Now the country's recidivism is 45 to 50. And so we're seeing great work, but Stand Together was the fuel behind them, and they've got several different other projects, from Care Portal, which is helping kids and families that need before they go into the child care or foster care programs. Just countless and countless of other programs that are about helping the communities and showing everybody that if we actually start from the bottom and the people that are doing the great work and help them all get healthy and strong, that we could raise a generation of great human beings that would be really awesome for our country. And so Stand Together has been a lot of fun, about 7 years now. And what I've been enjoying is pulling more of my NFL brothers the current players now and legends of the past in this great community effort.
And it's a fraternity, right?
Yeah.
I mean, whether you played 30 years ago, whether you just retired, maybe 2 or 3. I mean, it's a close-knit community where former players love to help out, and I think that goes unnoticed sometimes, right? We concentrate on a lot of the negativity sometimes, as opposed to the great work that NFL players are doing.
Yeah, you know what? What's really cool is we're even grabbing guys that are playing even today. We did this great work with, Joe Burrow a few years ago. You got Miles Kilbrew, all pro special teams with the Steelers. Rashad White, running back with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're grabbing the players now. DeMar Hamlin and I, we've been working on some mini projects for community with the Chasing Millions in Pittsburgh, and he's with the Bills, of course. But all these guys are like, how can we leave a legacy when we're done? But it starts by putting the right foundation together now, and so that's what Stand Together and my working with all the guys with the NFL and Inspire Change. We're all putting this together. Like, how can we have the great impact on communities now that can last even when the guys are done playing?
And they could find out more about the community and the site at standtogether.org.
Standtogether.org will get you to the place, and then you'll be able to find me and my team, and we're going to help players get there. And then if you're a fan of work, a fan of community, man, get on there. And what we always say is, let's figure out how you can be your best you for the community. And we find ways to get everybody involved.
That's great. We have about a minute. I do want to just pick your brain about Kalen DeBoer in Alabama. Huge expectations, 9-3 overall. Jalen Milroe now enters the NFL draft. Just give me your thoughts about Kalen DeBoer in terms of year number 1. Do you feel he's on the hot seat and has to make the college football playoff?
I think people have to put in reality like what happens. He's got more wins than any other first-year coach in Alabama history. More than Bear Bryant. Yes, more than Nick Saban, more than Gene Stallings. We're going to list all the great head coaches at Alabama, and he would be like, who had the best record after year 1? Kalen DeBoer. So when everybody takes a deep breath and be like, well, what do we got? Even the great Nick Saban had to put his team together to do it his way. We know Coach Ryan's coming in to come run the offense, who was his right-hand man, a good friend of his at UW. And, now he's coming in. Everything is going the way we want this thing to be. Coach DeBoer is a great recruiter. He's a great father of players. He's a great leader of men. He's going to do great.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, unbelievable when you think about the talent that has come through Alabama, and we talk about running backs, right? Jahmyr Gibbs is lighting it up for the Detroit Lions. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you got Jahmyr, Derek, Josh Jacobs. We got 3 superstars, and they're all playing amazing.
Unbelievable.
Very proud of those guys.
One quick thought. What can you if there's one word of advice that you can give younger players that you've learned from high school to the NFL, what would it be?
You know what? There's always this thought that you can hype yourself into it, but the same is still the same. Get coached up and do the work. That's how you become great. And so everybody's chemical program to be this great, massive weapon is a little bit different. This person needs this much more sleep. This person needs this much rest. So do the self-work to go get yourself to be the best version of yourself, and then let that thing fly when it's game night.
Awesome. Pleasure.
Right,
the great Shaun Alexander. We'll be right back.